Get going on this. Okay, so let's get started. I promise not to take too much of your time. My name is Sheila Colwell. For those of you, I know these guys know me, but I know some will be watching this recorded, or maybe some are going to jump on later. But I am the CEO and founder of She Had Me at Wine, and she, hopefully I'm pointing at Alicia, had me at wine. Alicia and I are both active Beachbody coaches. Alicia's probably a little more active than I am these days. But when I got a message from her saying, "Hey Sheila, do you drink wine?" I immediately stopped and thought, could this be a direct sales wine opportunity? I'm in. I don't care what the details are, I'm in. And it was really almost that easy for me. And I think it was that easy for me because I understand the potential in the multi-level marketing world coming off of 3 years with Beachbody. I just, honestly, you guys, could never make the Beachbody compensation structure work for me financially. I spent 20 years in corporate America. I have spent the last 5.5 years, 6 years, I guess, staying home with Cooper. And I can go back to work making pretty good money doing what I did in property management. So to be able to replace that, Beachbody just never got me there. And lots of reasons. I don't blame anybody but myself because with the health and fitness industry, consistency in your own journey really kind of determines your success. I truly believe that. I stumbled. I still stumble. I just had hash browns and bacon for breakfast. So I struggle, you guys. And to try to make a living off of getting people to join you to lose weight is hard, especially when you're not in super great shape like this one over here. So anyway, I'm a discount coach with Beachbody. I'll forever be thankful and grateful for what I learned from them. But what it's really opened my eyes to is a different way of living. I worked the grind for years with Marshall down there in the corner. 50 hours a week, commuting, dealing with bosses that were less than accommodating. And I can't imagine trying to live my life with Cooper around a boss. Yes. So for me, my why or my want is flexibility and financial freedom. And maybe that's not what your why or want is. But I want to be clear about something. This wine business is no different than any of the other million multi-level marketing companies you could get involved with, whether you're going to sell mascara or candles or, health and fitness products. It's a business. And I try very hard to set business hours. And whether you're going to work this business super part-time because you are working the grind Monday through Friday, or whether you're a stay-at-home mom and you have more flexibility to work it more hours, I encourage you to look at this not as a hobby, but as a business. And if you're working Monday through Friday, you build up your momentum all week and you do a Zoom call just like this on Saturday. And I'll teach you how to do it. It's super easy. And you talk to people and then you do the same thing next week. You build more momentum and you talk to people about it. I invited 30 people to this call, not including Alicia. So out of 30 people, I have 2 people on live. It's just the way that it works out. Next week, I could have 17 people on live. This week, I might get 15 no's out of those 30. Next week, I might get 5. Yeah, I mean, it's a momentum kind of business. We are following up with people 4, 5, and 6 times over 4, 5, and 6 weeks. We're not hounding people. And I tell people, listen, it's not my bag. I'm not going to hound you. If you tell me you're not interested, I'm going to move on because I'm not going to waste my time or yours. But if you're interested, stay engaged and ask questions. And whether you sign up today or 4 weeks from now or 4 months from now, you'll have all the facts to get your business rolling and get it launched. When I started Beachbody 3 years ago, I had 96 friends on Facebook. I have 3,000 today. I have 2,950, I think, today. So this isn't about hounding your friends and family. I get responses all the time. Well, I don't know enough people that drink wine. Okay, that's not true. You do. You just need to invite them into your circle. And I'll show you how to do that by getting into groups. For me, it's about mommy groups. For Alicia, it's probably more about people that she works with and work kind of groups and through fitness groups. Everybody's got your different niches that you're interested in. And it's a slow process. I don't message people I don't know. I don't drop people into groups that I don't know. I don't drop anybody into groups because that's not what I do. I build relationships with people. And I find out their interests. I find out maybe if they have a want or a need, and then I try to fit this business in to help them. It is a business. You have to have hours. You have to be consistent. You can't go out and tell 2 or 3 friends and say, well, I didn't make it, it didn't work for me. This is about telling 400 friends and then telling 400 more friends. It is about just consistently making it what you're about. If you go through my timeline, you learn about my family, you learn about my fat cat, you learn about my husband, and you learn about my wine business. My timeline is kind of a window into my life and how this wine business is affecting and changing my life. So if you're not sharing it with people, the difference is I don't have to get half naked and take pictures and tell people I lost 10 pounds and try to get the lighting right to gain 10 pounds. I mean, wine is totally different. It's really something people are buying anyway. Most people that I talk to, they're like, yeah, I'm in, whether it's from a customer standpoint or a distributor. Those of you who are involved in other multi-level marketing companies, I can just give you an example of, with Beachbody, I would have to sell 6 challenge packs, which is your fitness program along with Shakeology. I'd have to sell 6 of those to make what I'm making signing 1 distributor. So work smarter, not harder. I mean, it just makes sense to me. And I'm not inboxing you saying, hey, Marshall, do you want to, how are you doing? How's your weight going? Do you have any goals? Do you want to maybe get in my challenge group? It's, hey, Marshall, when's the last time you had a great glass of wine? It's a totally different vibe. It's a totally different confidence from my standpoint to talk to people about it. So what I'm going to share with you guys really quick is 2 different presentations that I put together with the help of people on my team. I didn't make these up. These are presentations that folks in our group had already put together. I went in and tweaked them for what I wanted to use them for. So this is what I send to people when they're just interested in being a customer. And you guys don't have to recreate this. You can use what I have already created. And I record a sound video behind these, or you can just send this to people. It's all in the name, direct sellers. When Alicia said to me, when I first saw direct sellers, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's genius. Why didn't I think of that? Discovery of wines from around the world, countries like Portugal, Italy, Argentina, Chile, Africa. I had a Chardonnay the other night from South Australia that, you guys, I drank the whole bottle by myself. I didn't even realize. Ron was out of town. And he called me and he's like, are you okay? These wines are fantastic. I was buying wines based on how pretty the label was. And I know lots of people that are doing that. So from a customer standpoint, it's super easy. You pick 2 or 4 bottles. They get shipped to your door. Every month you try something new. If you ever get the same wine twice, you send it back. There's 0 shipping cost. And these wine boxes are heavy, you guys. I got a case to start out with, and that's what you get when you sign up to be the Elite Founding member. With that option, you get 12 bottles of wine. We'll get to that. And this is why these boxes are heavy, so 0 shipping is huge. Not to be mistaken for an online liquor store. We don't sell whiskey or beer or vodka. We are 100% in the wine business. Many of these wines can't be found in stores. You're not going to find these wines in Costco or at your local liquor store. You can choose all red, all white. You can choose a combination. Every wine comes with a detailed list of information on its origin. I always say where it was born, and tasting notes so you know what to pair it with. So as a customer, this is what you're going to share with them. And they're going, wow, okay, it's simple and it makes sense. And what makes us different, I think, than a lot of wine clubs is even as a customer, you can drink free wine. So you don't have to be a distributor to get free wine. You can sign up as a customer, share your link with 3 people. As long as you have 3 active customers at the end of the month, your next shipment is free. So it doesn't matter if you have 2 customers on the 2 bottle and 1 on the 4 bottle. It doesn't matter if you're on the 2 or the 4. Your next shipment's going to be free. And Alicia, anytime I have, you want to chime in here, you can if I've missed anything. So it's super simple. Refer 3 and get yours free, even as a customer. I think that's awesome. The 2 options, if you want to go with the 2 bottle, it's $49.95 a month. 4 bottles, $79.95. Again, it's free shipping. It really takes the guesswork, at least for me, it took the guesswork out of buying wine. And then I always joke with them and say, hey, when's your first, your first wine tasting party? So that's the customer slide presentation, and it's super simple. You could make it more than what it is. It's just, I try to keep things very simple for people. And then the next one that I put together is what I share with folks who are interested in the distributorship opportunity. And many of you probably already seen this, but this is how easy it is and how simple it is. We are building a business out of drinking wine. And it's not too good to be true, because we have an entire team with success stories that we couldn't even list in the amount of time that we have. But we go through the same thing. Now, for our distributors, I like to tell them that this is not a new company. While the distributorship opportunity is less than a year old, the company's been around for about 4 years. And from the retention rate standpoint, my retention rate with Beachbody, and I always laugh when I say this because it's kind of embarrassing, but I was there for active for 32 months as a coach, and my retention rate with Shakeology was about 17%. And as a customer with Shakeology, it's about $160 with shipping to get it a month. So it's very expensive, and that translated into a low retention rate. With this wine business, I think the current retention rate is 93%. So to go from 17% to 93% retention rate in your customer orders and in your distributor orders, that makes a gigantic difference in your long-term residual income with this business. So not only are you getting bonused up front for signing new distributors, you're making money on the long term with a really, really high, I'd say probably one of the highest retention rates in the multi-level marketing business. Legal counsel, I like to mention Kevin Thompson from Thompson & Burton is the legal counsel for Beachbody. So this guy, we have the right people in our corner. This is not a fly-by-night company. This is a very well-established company that is exploding in front of our eyes. This page is the same as the customer page. I really didn't change it. And then I talked to the distributors about how to get your free wine. You refer 3, you get, your wine free, and tells them what to tell their customers. And then why are we so excited? So although the company is 4 years old, this distributorship opportunity has really just begun. The official launch is less than a month away now in Vegas on the 24th. And these elite founding member positions are only available until Tuesday night at midnight. So while the distributorship opportunity never goes away, the positioning within the company right now in the next few days, those of us who have secured these positions will be forever thankful when we do have 400,000 wine distributors under us, in the organization. You can't get that back. That's not something you can, once you miss out on that opportunity, you can't get that positioning back. So I can't stress that enough. And finally, the big thing is I have a lot of interest in this from people who are already doing something in the multi-level marketing world, whether it's, selling mascara, or they are Beachbody coaches, or they're with It Works selling wraps or candles, or there's a million different things. We don't compete. This is not a saturated market. You don't have, your news feeds are not being overloaded with people in the wine business. Hopefully it's just me right now. And that really meant a lot to me, that I had never seen this before. When I was approached by Teresa, who was my Beachbody coach, I had been approached before, probably by 6 or 7 people. My news feed was already flooded with Beachbody coaches. And this wine thing is different. It's not saturated. We're not competing against a million different people. The compensation plan, if you've never been in the multi-level world, this might seem a little bit foreign, but let me just get to the nuts and bolts. For me, I wanted to know, how much am I going to make up front if I sign a distributor? So if you sign a distributor right now under the elite founding member, they're going to pay $499.95 to sign up, and you're going to get a $250 fast start bonus as soon as they sign up. If they decide not to go with that and they want to go with the $249 option, you're going to get a $125 fast start bonus. I think, and I only have really Beachbody to compare it to, but that's pretty amazing. Like I said, I would have to sell 6 challenge packs to make $250 at Beachbody. So that's 6 conversations. I go back to work smarter, not harder. I mean, you can make so much more money up front. And then your long-term income on the right with the unilevel pay and the check match bonuses, that we can get into a little bit further. But as you build your team, you make more money, and that's really the bottom line. Is the more your team grows and their teams grow underneath them, the more money that you make. And so not only am I interested in this for long-term residual income for retirement, I also have to pay the bills today. And that's where I struggled in my former business. Was I could see the long-term plan, but I wasn't able to make it work on an upfront monthly basis. The amount of work that I was putting into it, I wasn't getting paid back for that. So how do you get started? There are two options. You can start making money immediately with either one of these options. So you can sign up for $249. You'll get 4 bottles of wine up front. You'll get your own website. Most of you have probably visited my website. Yours will look just like that. You start making money immediately, and you get your first year of business fees waived. And that's huge. I think I've paid almost $600 in business fees in the last 3 years with Beachbody. So that adds up, and it does really make a difference when you're talking about covering your expenses and not coming out of pocket to run a business. The other option, which is really the one that everybody's focused on right now, is the $4.99 option to become an elite founding member. You get 12 bottles of wine up front. So there's your first wine tasting party. Or if you're like Ron and I, you might have to order another case because you've drank most of that wine. You still get a website. You get, you're a founding elite member, which we have an entire list of what those benefits are. And really it's about VIP treatment at all of our events. You get 40% off all future wine orders. You can reorder a case of wine for $150, and you get 3 years of your business fees waived. 3 years. You don't have to worry about anything being automatically deducted as far as business fees go. And chances are you're going to be drinking free wine. So it just makes sense. And it's not hard. It's wine. It's not, hey, do you want to wrap your stomach? Hey, do you want to, need vitamins or whatever? And there's a million things out there. It's wine. It's wine. So what questions did you come with? Marshall and I have been trying to connect literally for 4 days on the phone, and I've been with my son. So what questions do you have for us, Marshall?
Okay, so let's get this started. So obviously our product, our wrap, our shake, our makeup is the wine subscriptions. So ultimately, yes, the goal is to get distributors signed up, and that's, the long term. That's going to keep that big, the fast start bonuses coming. That's going to be all of that. But obviously in that time, it's also the people to sign up for the wine subscriptions. I know a lot of people that enjoy wine. That does not seem like a hurdle to get those subscription people started. So there's obviously money in that part because that's our product. That's the makeup we're selling. That's whatever. So one of my questions was that comp structure. So what is it that comes in from those wine subscriptions? And as us as a distributor, do we also benefit from the 3 and get free? So once I have 3 people that have signed up on that subscription, is my monthly subscription then also free?
Yes. So if you're, and correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia. So if you're a distributor, you're getting 4 bottles of wine, because it doesn't matter if you sign up for the $249 option or the $4.99 option, you're getting 4 bottles of wine a month, correct? And so if you get 3 customers, then your next shipment of 4 is going to be free. Okay. Even as a distributor. So if you sign up 0 distributors in your first month and you sign up 3 customers, your next shipment is going to be free.
Okay.
I will tell you that, so I've been doing this since December 9th. I left for about 10 days on vacation, so I really didn't start doing anything until about Christmas time. I have 15 people underneath me. 14 of those are business. I only have 1 person that's a customer right now, and she's probably going to upgrade. And I will tell you, most of them see the income potential and want to probably, would prefer, because they're still getting the same benefits as a customer. They're just not making the income. So it's like, why not be on the business side? And so almost everybody I've talked to, except for, like I said, the 1, has chosen the business side because of all those other perks and benefits and tax deduction. It's your own business. I mean, there's so many other positives too. But the other cool thing about being a customer, if they do choose to only be a customer, is not only do they have a chance to earn their wine free if they do refer their own 3 friends or whoever to be customers, but they also save a spot in your downline. So if they ever upgraded, they're not going to the bottom when they upgrade. They're staying in that spot, which gives them better earning potential from that point.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
And that's great. That is not something that we experienced at Beachbody. If you're a customer at Beachbody, you're a customer. And then if you decide to be a coach, then you're put in the organization.
Yeah.
So I was a customer for 11 years before I became a coach at Beachbody. Can you imagine?
Yeah. I mean, I've been a coach for 4 years, and I will tell you, I think I just hit 7 weeks. Would that be right? 7 weeks of being in this business. December 9th, January. No, I'm sorry. 6 weeks, I guess. I've made in 6 weeks what it took me a year to make in Beachbody.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's wine. People like it. If they don't, they know somebody who does. And we have, top people in our company who don't drink alcohol at all or don't enjoy wine as their first choice, but they are killing it because they understand the potential and the concept. And so I think that's been the biggest plus of this business. It's social, it's fun. Almost everybody buys it anyway. And so I think that's been the ease of talking about it. Health and fitness is difficult to talk about. An expensive skincare product is difficult to talk about and to keep going, So these are things that are more challenging. This is not. And the other really cool thing is we are right now, there's only one other direct sales wine company out there, and it's domestic only. We have international and domestic. Their company, they can only ship to, I think it's 23 states, and we are right now able to ship to 47, soon to be 48, which is huge also. And we're opening it's either going to be the end of this quarter or beginning of next quarter in Canada and the UK. So it's going to explode everywhere.
That's huge. I was, and Alicia was around too when Beachbody launched in Canada, and there's millionaires sitting up there in Canada right now under that Beachbody launch. So it'll be the same situation with this business.
Yeah.
Alicia, go into the different tiers. So Marshall asked about, the long-term, the residual income on the customer level. You make a different amount based on how many distributors. You have a different percentage based on how many distributors you have, right?
Yeah. So you make volume. Technically you have to have 2 distributors, to be able to, if you pull that picture up, that's easier. So you have yourself, just like we all have a left and a right leg. In your business, you have a left and a right leg. To be able to start making commissions weekly off of everything else below you, whether somebody who's personally sponsored or not, anyone that's placed below you, it contributes to your volume. Once you have those 2 distributors, one on each side, then you start making commissions. Your percentage of commission that you make each week is based on how many people you have signed. So for me, I have the highest level you can hit is master seller, and that requires 9 distributors. After you hit 9, you're making 20% commission off of all the volume below you, based on your right and your left legs. So there's actually 4 different ways to earn in this compensation plan, which is, I don't think there's another one out there like it, honestly. This is the best one I've ever seen. Even friends who are in like Rodan and Fields and things like that say the same. So you have your fast start bonus, which is 50% fast start bonus that you get immediately, which is really how you make a huge chunk of your money quickly. The second is the dual pay, which is having the right and left leg, which increases in percentage over time based on how many distributors you have. And that will, as time goes on. Then you have the unilevel, which pays wide and deep based on your team. And that will be unlimited forever. So that's grows to infinity. So think if we would have joined Beachbody 10 years ago when it started, I can't even imagine the length and depth that there would be with 450,000 coaches. I think in a couple of years, this is going to be very, very similar, and you have to see the long-term potential for that. It's going to be insane. And then there's also the check match bonus, which those 2 are a little trickier and grow much more again as you build your own team as time goes on. But they certainly all 4 of these are paid weekly and certainly will grow as time goes on.
And it's paid weekly, and it gets deposited into your vault, which is your kind of your office checking account, and then you just transfer it to your account. And I think what I'd like to reiterate is whether you have an hour a week to work on this or you have 40 hours a week to work on this, it's about I have a wine business, and everybody I talk to, and I've got to order my business cards because I have written on more scratches of paper for more people in my phone. It's about, hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, do you drink wine? And you hand them a card. And this goes on forever. And you're handing out these wine cards 5 years from now. I just like to reiterate that it's not something you're going to go try for 6 weeks and then go, I couldn't get the wine business to work for me. It might take 6 months. It might take a year, depending on how much time you have to work on it. The nice thing about it is it's very simple. So we're not launching new programs that you have to get involved with. We're not launching a ton of new products. It's wine. So your promotion could be you sitting by the fire with a glass of wine saying, man, I'm glad this was free, all the way to, my videos that I go live on Facebook. And what I do, you guys, is not for everybody. Not everybody will go live on Facebook. It took me a long time to get the nerve to do that. And I still get super nervous. I get more nervous on these calls than I do going live because there's nobody looking back at me. But it is, you fit it in when you can. I mean, for me, I had a window between breakfast this morning and a baseball game. And I knew that on Thursday or Wednesday when I started talking about this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to get on at 11 o'clock. I'll have about an hour to go through this. And that's what you do. And you do what works for you. If 11 on Saturday it doesn't work, you do it when it works for you and when you think you can gather the biggest audience. And really, it's not about who's on here right now. It's about the 30 people I'm going to send this recording to, because you can't get disappointed. You go, man, I sent 30 invitations, only 2 people showed up. People are super busy, and this is not on the forefront of their thought on a Saturday morning. But this afternoon or this evening when they're pouring their wine, they're going to go, oh, crap, I've missed Sheila's call. I better go watch it, and it's going to be sitting in their inbox. And then tomorrow I'll send them a message saying, hey, did you have a chance to check out the Zoom call? What questions can I? And it's just about, hey, are you interested? On a scale of 1 to 10, let me take your temperature. Are you interested at all? And they say, yeah, the business, I don't have time for the business thing, but I'd love to be a customer. Bam. Then you have a customer. So
people who tell you they don't have time, send them to talk to me. I work 60 hours a week as an orthopedic physician assistant. I still run challenge groups. I teach group fitness during the week. I am on call this weekend. I can certainly, with my phone, send 20 messages out in 5 minutes because you copy and paste and personalize them. That's how easy this business is. So don't ever tell me you don't have time for this business.
Yeah.
It's so easy. You can find, it's a mobile business. And you make it what you make out of it, what you put into it. But, I never take that as an excuse because I am extremely busy.
And I am too. And I'm the busiest unemployed person I know. That's what I tell people first of all, I just opened another business entity for us, which our CPA is thanking us because, Ron's a very well-paid W-2 employee, and Uncle Sam loves him very much. So these little businesses that I keep setting up, my CPA says, keep them coming, Sheila, keep them coming. And this Zoom call is a write-off. I pay $11.99 a month for Zoom, and I write it off. I write off, I'm not going to tell you what to write off because I'm not a CPA, but these businesses help us immensely with our taxes. So even if you dabble in it and maybe your goal is to sign 2 distributors a month, maybe it's not 12, maybe it's 2. Those 2 distributors and that business as you grow it and the tax write-off, to me, it is just a no-brainer. And like I said, whether if you have an hour a week or 2 hours a week, or you've got 40 hours a week, you can make this work. Did we answer your questions, Marshall, about the pay? I know it is confusing because when you take a job, they offer you, $85,000 a year, and you know how much your paycheck's going to be.
Yeah.
What I like to tell people is you will get out of this exactly what you put into it. And I saw people do it with Beachbody, and I was guilty of it. I thought, I thought people were going to come to me. I thought I could do a few posts, and there was a ton. Obesity is a huge problem in this country. People were going to flock to me and want to be in my challenge groups. Guess what? That didn't happen. It didn't happen.
No,
it's
so
hard,
true.
and it's a commitment. And people like me who struggle with food understand that it's not a 30-day challenge fix. It is a mental, and it's a lifetime, and it's digging deep into what your issues are. This is wine. We're not digging deep into, well, maybe after a whole bunch of issues, but on a general statement, we're not digging into issues. It really is different. So did we answer your questions?
Yeah, so I just have one more.
Okay.
So obviously the Elite Founding member goes away, end of the 31st. So as far as the Fast Start bonus, as far as, signing up new distributors, as you had that slide, those two slides really, the Fast Start bonus and then also kind of what you get included with the $249 or the $499, is anything else changing other than the fact that the $499 then won't be an Elite Founding member? It's a Fast Start still going to be the same come February 1?
Yes. Yeah. So the only thing that changes with the Elite is that you're not considered a founder. The Elite will always be available, and everything that goes along with it will be the same. You just won't be considered a founding member of the company and have those benefits that go along with it, especially the ones that will be added and increase over time, because again, they're still in their soft launch. So those things will certainly elaborate over time. Everything else that goes along with the Elite will still be the same, minus being considered a founder.
Okay.
And I think with the founder, for me, it was I knew there is a founding member of Beachbody who lives in the Phoenix community, and I've met her on several occasions. And I can tell you that 10 years later, she doesn't do anything with her business, you guys. She doesn't. And she makes money hand over fist. So if you're looking for, a retirement kind of situation where let's get this wine, let me work really hard for the next 10 years on this wine business and then coast because we have 500,000 distributors. I mean, that's my dream. I think that's the dream that everybody gets into this with. Now I have lots of people waiting on taxes. And I have a handful of people that said, Sheila, I want to be an Elite Founding member, but I can't pull it off by then. I think there's a lot of us that are secretly hoping they're going to extend it again. They won't. So I was hoping they would do it and say, okay, well, the launch is February 24th. We'll extend it till then. There's no guarantees. I've told people, don't stress. For me, the Elite Founding member is it's instant credibility, I think, even on a long-term basis. I'm going to put that title on my card, on my business card. I think that goes a long way. And whether you're going to sign up on Tuesday or Friday, sign up on Tuesday just to get that name on your card. That's how I kind of feel about it. But if you can't because your taxes aren't coming in or whatever the situation is, you can still get in positioning early and be in on the front. I mean, we haven't even launched yet. That's how new it is. So whether you can sign up today or February 14th or whatever, I say if you've got the money, do it now so you can get that Elite Founding member title, because it is instant credibility. And when you're talking to people 3 and 4 and 10 years from now, that's going to mean something. So
yeah, and I mean, I have some people who really, really want to do it and have flat out said, listen, like I have a friend who's a chef and she's launching a new something that has to do with being a chef. I don't know. But I mean, and she teaches courses and things like that. And she really, really wants to do it. But she said, she really needs to wait a few months. And so she understands she will not be considered a founder. However, no matter when you sign, especially the earlier it is, obviously the better, or which level you sign at, you have the same income potential, but you're always going to have better potential the earlier you get in because you're situating yourself at a much higher spot from everyone else. So you just won't have to bust your butt quite as hard as long if you're putting yourself in that right position initially.
I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, you guys. I really, in my heart, do. I feel like I opened and I don't know if anybody else went through this, but I opened a message that had gone to like my trash folder on Facebook in the Messenger from 2008 from a guy saying, oh, I just saw your post about P90X. Are you interested in becoming a coach? I found that message in 2014. And I literally cried tears down my face, big alligator tears down my face. And I thought, what if? What if? This is your what if. And I just got chills. I just got chills because and you guys know, I'm not a salesperson. I spent 20 years in the apartment business. I've never sold anything. I owned a tanning salon. I was a Beachbody coach. I'm not a salesperson. I am an entrepreneur. I feel like I have an entrepreneurial fire. I don't want to make someone else rich. I want to make myself rich. And my video yesterday maybe seemed a little bit self-centered about, or it was the day before yesterday, about wants. What are your wants? I want to retire. I'm 44 years old, guys. I got a 6-year-old. I want to retire when I'm 60 years old. I don't ever want to have to work again. If this is my avenue to get there, it's wine. And I just truly believe it's a once in a lifetime thing. It's not for everybody. It's not, because you have to be disciplined. You can't, it's not going to happen on its own. And it's not going to happen by handing out business cards. You have to talk to people and you have to follow up. Follow-up is everything. If you're going to send one message and when they don't respond, you're going to go, well, they must not be interested.
I think I posted didn't I post in our group that it's 80% of people who join something, or 80% of sales that come from something, it takes 5 to 12 follow-ups.
It's crazy. And it's not hounding. It's not join my team, join my team, join my team. It's, hey, are you interested? This is what's happening for me and people on my team. I've got somebody on my team who's made 5 figures in 5.5 weeks. You know, she's not out there just handing out business cards. That girl's working 12 hours a day, busting her ass, getting her business going. But she's talking to everybody that she knows. Another team, a very successful husband and wife Beachbody team, they said, you know, the secret is invite everybody, whether you know them or not. Invite them. This is wine. You don't have to have a personal relationship with somebody. You're not inviting them to lose weight. You're inviting them to drink wine. They're probably already drinking wine anyway. So, hey, Fran, you're down there. All I can see is a telephone. What questions can we answer for you?
Well, one of the biggest issues I'm getting from people is they either like sweet wine or dry wine, and if they do find something they like, they don't have the opportunity to reorder it again.
That's not true. They will be able to reorder.
So if they get something in their box that they like, they can reorder that again?
They will be able to, not immediately, but that is because again, this is such a brand new company. They're still, you know, in soft launch, but yes, that is one of the things that they are going to be able to do in the near future.
Okay. And then as far as the ones that, well, I really only like sweet wines, or I really only like dry wines, how do you combat that?
So they have to understand that this is not a wine of the month club. This is a premium wine tasting club. These are boutique wines that are hand-picked from Jerry Greenfield, who is the wine whisperer, world-renowned. The purpose of it is to be able to try new things, be able to expand your palate. They may not realize that they love something, or that they will find that they love something because they have in their head that I only want Riesling. That's the purpose of this club. And again, people are loving it because it has a 93% customer retention rate. The other thing is, if they did get something that they absolutely just cannot stand, they can call customer service and tell them that, and customer service, free of charge, will send them out 2 brand new bottles of something different.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's huge. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
good.
But again, this is not a, you get to choose what you want. This is a premium boutique wine club, tasting club. These are things that are exclusive to us, where you cannot get them in the store. There might be a couple sprinkled here and there that you might be able to find somewhere, but these are specifically exclusive to us, and that's why they are higher end. More, I don't love white. I enjoy a good buttery Chardonnay, but I will tell you, I have not disliked one white that I've tried yet.
Either.
And I don't like sweet wine. There was one that was fruitier than I would normally drink, but I will tell you, when it's 110 degrees here in Phoenix, I will enjoy the heck out of it. But that is the purpose of this. And, the bottles themselves retail up to $40. So when you're thinking of the value that you're getting with no tax and no shipping, it's an amazing value. I mean, I have 2 or 3 memberships with California vineyards, and you don't get to choose what you want there either. You get to choose red or white or a mix. That's it. You don't get to tell them what you want. you may choose them because you know you already like their wines, but I pay $15 to $20 in shipping just to get from California to Arizona for those wines. And I can just go buy them sometimes at the store. So this is a whole different concept, and it's a much higher end concept.
Okay. Got it.
And I think it's hard to, I know what you've done, Fran, because I saw your post and I tried to help you out on that without being too obvious on what you were doing. But I think it's tough to try to take a temperature from a small group. I think, you know, I boosted a couple of posts this week. And for those of you who are not in this business, you might not even know that you can place ads on Facebook. I paid $40 to boost an ad off of my She Had Me at Wine page. And I got 3,800 reaches. Oh, I'm sorry, I got 6,900 reaches. I got 3,800 clicks. I don't even have 3,800 friends. So there's ways to reach the broader spectrum of people in placing ads on Facebook. And I'm not saying you have to go out and spend money right away to place ads, but that is an option if you feel like I'm not growing my network fast enough. You can go out there and grab your network without spending the time going into groups, building relationships. There's ways even on Instagram to place ads to get out there in front of people. I'm sure you guys see the Beachbody coaches on you're placing ads all the time. So there's different ways, and I think it's all about just mentioning it in conversation to people. My baseball moms, I told them all about it. I said, who drinks wine? I want to tell everybody about this wine tasting club that we're doing. And there's a great business opportunity behind it. You're going to see interest peak, or you'll see people, one of the moms turned around and walked away. She doesn't drink wine. She doesn't drink alcohol at all. We do have a couple of people on our team who don't drink at all, and they are launching their business and they're doing great. So don't shortchange yourself because you've asked a few people and they're not interested. I think this is a grander scheme idea, and it is a wine tasting club. So if you've got somebody who only drinks Cab, excuse me, only drinks Cabernet, then they're probably not right for this. But there's 100 other people that are. So what other questions can we answer before we take off? Excuse me.
I don't have any more questions, but Sheila, can you send me the link to your wine website? Because I don't think I've seen that anywhere yet.
Yes, I will send it to you right when we get off of this, and I will post it on the post for this call too, so everyone can see that. But yeah, and
if you could send that to me too. I have not seen the website.
Okay, I'll send it to both of you, and it's super easy. All I had to do is change my name. It's not like Beachbody. I had to go set up this big profile and put a picture and tell you my goals. This is direct sellers provided to you by or sponsored by Sheila Colwell. That's all I had to do. My website was set. I sent somebody my link literally 20 minutes after I signed up to be a distributor. It's that easy. So it's not overwhelming. This is a cut and paste business, and it's about, these are my 10, and I'll send them to you as soon as you sign up. These are my 10 really kind of canned answers. I hate to say that. And then you go in and you customize them. You say, hey, Marshall, I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, you guys know how it is. You don't cut and paste what I'm doing. You personalize it to who you're sending it to. And it takes 3 seconds to switch the name, do Happy New Year, how's your dog, how's your kid, whatever, and you send it out. Don't reinvent the wheel. I did spend some time reinventing those PowerPoint presentations because I needed that for me. And hopefully that's going to help everybody on my team because you can just use them. You don't have to go out and create it. It's already there. So we do have only a few days left for the Elite Founding Member opportunity. If you can't make it by midnight on the 31st, don't stress, don't give up. Come back to us when you're ready because we are just getting started. The launch is February 24th in Las Vegas. It's going to be huge. We are this close to saying we're going for sure. I bet I'm 80% sure that we're going. So it's exciting. It's hard when you have 4 dogs and one of them is diabetic and a father-in-law. And everybody's got stuff, but we're going to try to make it happen. So I hope to bring a bunch of good information back from that. Our team is on fire. We are the fastest growing team in the organization, y'all. And that means something. Trust me. I just lived 3 years at Beachbody. I have a very successful upline coach. Being successful and being a good leader and being helpful are not always the same things. I have taken pride in 20 years in my career of training people and advancing people under me. I want you to be more successful than I am. And I will give you all of those tools to do that. And if I can't get them for you, I will find the people that can get them for you. I interact with the leaders of our team on a daily basis, whether it's on Facebook, in our groups. This is an open book. There are no secrets. There is no competition. We are all out to be super successful, and we want to grow a team of super successful people who can see the vision and who will take the time and the consistency to make this work. It's not an overnight. It can be. Go out and find 8 distributors and you've made $2,000. It can be an overnight success for you, where some of the other businesses really don't have, you don't have those upfront fast start bonuses. So even if I sold 8 challenge packs, I still would have only made 8 times 40, $320, not $2,000. So, you know, think about it. Shoot me any additional questions. For those of you who are watching the recording of this, send me your questions. Let's get, Alicia would be happy to get on the phone with, we can do another Zoom call maybe, maybe Monday night as we're getting closer to the deadline. I'm super focused on the deadline because I really am all about the positioning and the instant credibility of that title. And I want people to understand how important that is. It's not everything. Become a distributor March 1st and your earning potential is exactly the same as mine. So don't worry if the timing's not right. If we haven't answered all your questions, make sure you get them to us. If you want to get on a one-on-one phone call, let's make that happen. Don't sit on this, you guys. Urgency, time is of the essence, really, because positioning is everything. So I'm going to unrecord us here. Unrecord.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Oh, sorry. Go right ahead.
No, just so people realize, it ends at 11:59 Eastern time. That means you have to think about your own time zone. So just so people realize that too, because technically it's 11:59 Eastern, which is 9:59 here in Arizona. I've been here for 3 years and I oftentimes still have in my head Chicago time, so Central. So I mean, I have to, you know, just realize that you're in the right mind frame if you are really considering this by the time it ends.
I had to ask Suri, what time is it in Denver? What time is it in Denver? Because I didn't know what time. I know we're the same time zone as them right now. We're usually California and sometimes, oh yeah, so I've lived here my whole life. I don't know why y'all have to switch the clocks around because it's just silly. We've never done that here. So, all right, you guys, so 11:59 Eastern Standard Time is the deadline. I'm hoping that it will be extended, but you guys, we can't, I think the leaders are saying don't depend on that. So if you want in, let us know. I'm going to send Fran and Marshall the links. Thank you, guys.